everybody. This is Mario Kaiba. Screwing the rules because I have green hair. Well, it's not even really about screwing the rules, but oh boy. The Dallas Morning News has actually made an update about the hearing. Now that's over for the day. It's going to be continued on Friday, but... well, I'm not sure if it's this Friday or whatever. I'm going to reread the article, which I'm going to do in front of you guys, but... Grigsby could not do a perfect bias like she did before. I'm starting to feel warm. Ugh. But yeah. I read this article, and you can tell that she wanted so badly to condemn Vic, but she couldn't. This has to be the least biased article she's ever made, but still biased towards KV. Let's get to it, shall we? Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna makes a reasonable case that he didn't file the suit for vengeance. In a quote, facing allegations for behavior, I decided I had no other recourse to save whatever career reputation I had left. Which is kind of true because, you know, they were harming his career to the point that he couldn't do anything. He had to fight back. He didn't want to. You can tell that. My goodness, Vic looks so much younger in this photo, despite being, well, 10 years younger than my mom, at least. Okay. Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna took to the stand Thursday for the first time, in weeks after he lost round one of his defamation lawsuit, and steadfastly maintained his legal action was the last resort of a man desperate to save his career. Well, he wouldn't have been desperate if people didn't lie about him. Oy. The Grapevine-based actor and Dragon Ball star, long hounded by allegations of inappropriate behavior toward women, filed suit in April against his former employer, two Dallas area colleagues, and the fiancé of one of the women. More like whammons. Almost immediately after the state district judge, John Chupp, dismissed the last of Mignogna's 70 claims on October 4th, his legal team made clear that an appeal was coming. But before that can happen, both sides had to return to Chupp's courtroom on Thursday to hear arguments on the awarding of defense lawyer fees and possible sanctions against the actor. At the day's end, Chupp indicated he would rule as early on Friday on the requests, which total 800,000. Okay. This is supposed to be about quote-unquote reasonable attorney fees. That is hardly reasonable, especially with half the stuff that Lemoyne had been tacking on. Eric has been tacking on as well, case Eric. Like, oh man, I wish they could point out the perjuries done. The defense team subpoenaed Mignogna as part of its strategy, but my sense was the actor's testimony helped his own cause more than it hurt it. Yeah, you can tell that Grigsby is salty, especially since because it was not a pure disadvantage on Vic's part, she couldn't be as biased. Defense attorney Sean Lemoyne was unable to shake Mignogna from his earnestly delivered narrative. The voice actor trusted his lawyer so completely that he never read the lawsuit filed on his behalf. He never watched a minute of the YouTube screeds of a Minnesota lawyer who set up a GoFundMe legal campaign on his behalf. Yeah, I'm about messed up there. He maintained that he doesn't know his own net worth. I'm not sure about net worth, but Vic is worth plenty to us fans. You never find a dude who's so real. After the January premiere of his latest film, Dragon Ball Broly, Mignogna testified he quickly realized that people were again tweeting about his alleged misdeeds. Oh, they are alleged. At least she remembered to put the word alleged in there. Long-time allegations on social media have described the actor as aggressive hugs, kisses, and unwanted sexual advances. I was really scared, he said in court Tuesday, but I feel like I had to do something. I had seen this all spiraling so badly over a couple of months that I decided another course to save whatever career or reputation I had left. Well, because he had no other choice. He didn't want to sue anyone. But frickin' Real, Toye, and Marky were all talking so much smack about him that he kind of had no choice. Not to mention trying to tortiously interfere with his contracts. Thanks to those idiots, you'll be lucky if you can get a job in the anime industry ever again. Mignogna contended that before following the lawsuit, he even considered asking the advice of fellow voice actor Monica Rial, one of the women who he would eventually sue along with Riel's fiancé Ron Toye, Jamie Markey, and Flower Mound-based Funimation. But then he recounted Riel and Markey also tweeted about his behavior. It just kept getting worse, and it kept getting worse. I didn't feel I had any other choice, Mignogna said. Many of the question and answer sequences between Mignogna and Lemoyne, punctuated by many objections by the voice actor's legal team and upheld by Chump. Not Chump, I said Chump, but Chup, ended with a little satisfaction for either side. And I need to do some of my mic sensitivity later. Oy. Reportedly, Lemoyne asked, Is it fair to say you need a lawsuit to shut people up? After answering the question several times with a polite but vehement no, Mignogna responded, No, sir. They had been speaking out for months. There's no shutting anyone up. Common sense there. Much of the Thursday hearing involved hours of dry, detailed testimony about the defense lawyers' bills, data points on reasonable rates, block billing, timekeepers, and timesheets. Again, it's not reasonable for 800,000. And Lemoyne keeps trying to tack up the bill even more. But once Mignogna took the stand, things got interesting. I've been writing about his case since August, but because he and his defense team never agreed to talk to me, this was my first time to ever hear him in person. The 57-year-old voice actor was careful with his words, but mostly came across as authentic. That's because Vic is one of the most authentic people you'll ever meet, Grigsby. Ay. As previewed in the defense of the lawyer's filings, the goal was to prove that Mignogna's claims were filed in bad faith, that he was aware of the cancellation invitations of anime conventions and was not caused by the defendants in the lawsuit, in tandem with a strategy of using a Minnesota lawyer as a hate megaphone illustrated by his vindictiveness. Look, Nick's said it multiple times. Vic has nothing to do with what he says. Vic can't control him. No one can control rackets. I'd be surprised if his wife could even do it a little bit. Actually, she's about the only one who can semi-control him, but that's a very loose leash. Mignogna acknowledged that he had no direct evidence related to those behind the convention cancellations, but he said he believed they were linked with the defendants based on things I heard at the time. But the defense team had a far less success on their other 2 points. Lemoyne questioned Mignogna again and again about whether he hatched a plan with Minnesota lawyer Nick Raqueta for Mignogna to file a defamation lawsuit and Raqueta to follow up by creating a GoFundMe account. After many questions, Mignogna conceded that he thanked Raqueta for setting up the account, but denied any other involvement. I don't have any control over one single penny of the account, he said. Wait, did she get a little heavier? No, I think she actually lost weight. But she still has those freaking horse teeth. As of Thursday night, the GoFundMe page stood about at 200,000 from about 6,600 supporters. Mignogna didn't feel great about Raqueta setting up the fund, but the lawyer told him, listen, you have a lot of people who care about you and feel like you are being wrongly accused. And they want to help. Allow them to help. Definitely sounds like rackets. He pointed that he has no control over Raqueta's harsh language regarding the defendants. In one online commentary, Raqueta said, I think they're terrible people and I want to see them ground into dust. A lot of people want to see them ground into dust, except for Vic, who's, like, very kind. I just assume Raqueta, does whatever he wants to. Mignogna told the court. I'm not responsible for what Raqueta says. Ask whether he considers Raqueta a friend. Mignogna responded, I foolishly consider everyone I know a friend. Throughout the day, Chups showed little patience with the defense team efforts to link Raqueta and the GoFundMe account to the issues before the court. At one point, a slightly exasperated judge asked the defense, why are we complaining about stuff that's on the internet? Let's try to get to something relevant. The sanctions and fees filing on behalf of Marky Orientoy referenced the damage to their lives. The lawsuit was filed. A reduction in recording and convention work, harassment, doxing, and death threats and online attack and smear campaigns. Well, I'm glad I'm not monetized, or else I would be in trouble for saying that. That H word, right there. Those concerns were hardly referenced during Thursday's hearing, so who knows how they'll figure into Chup's decision-making. He may well decide that even though the plaintiff didn't meet the bar for winning his lawsuit, that doesn't mean any sanctions are in order. Calm down, cat. Come here. Miso, say hi to everybody. Hello, me so cute. Me so cute. Oh, yes, you are. You are the cutest kitty. I love you. Okay, that's where I was. Featured at the top of the defense filing on behalf of Rio and Toye was a photograph of Mignogna, Raqueta, and Mignogna attorney Ty Beard posing with their cigars at an anime Matsuri convention this year. Underneath the photo is a quote in which Beard, just after Chup's October 4th dismissal in a final claim, said, what I'm saying is we already won a victory. The only question is how big of a victory are we going to win? Well, going to win. The defense filings contends that the victory was an avalanche of vitriol directed at victims and critics. The defendant's lawyers want to see Vic Mignogna hard enough to deter him from any future unsubstantiated lawsuits. Now it's up to Jupp to decide, even though Vic Mignogna didn't win, was he negligent or acting in bad faith? We will likely get an answer before the weekend. Back to Facecam. Look. I said earlier that Grigsby was less biased, but I didn't say she wasn't biased. Y'all know about her frickin' lady boner for the Me Too movement. And yes, I'm going to keep saying words like that until YouTube decides enough is enough. But personally, things are actually looking a little bit better for me. No, as in Vic. Vic Mignogna. Vic Mignogna. But yeah. Hey. It looks like that there's a strong possibility that Chup will not be granting Lemoyne. That's how I was supposed to do that voice. Darn it. Those attorney sanctions. Because, come on, 800,000? There's no way that Lemoyne's work is worth that much. And everybody knows he's after that GoFundMe money. Give me the GoFundMe money for my con sluts. So yeah. I think that there is a strong possibility that Lemoyne is not going to get as much money as he's requesting. And yeah, I still think Chup is a bad judge. However, even he's starting to question his own calls. And no, Judge Chup is the kind of guy who prefers to get people to mediate than actually do a final verdict. As for what's going to happen, we're going to have to wait until Friday. And I'm sure Rackets is probably going to be talking a little bit about this sometime soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to be signing off. This is Mario Kaiba, screwing the rules to that green hair. Peace.